Hey, what's up guys? This is Brian from Whisper Status 74, showing you a very old school Toshiba LCD. I'm on the treadmill finishing up my workout, and I'm away at Old SAYBROOK, Connecticut, which has this very kind of, you can't see the lighthouse, this very interesting Jaws Amity Island aesthetic. If you're familiar at all with Connecticut, it's where some of that antique shopping is done. But I'm away for the weekend, and there's a Game of Thrones looking hotel. Has some of the Shining type hotel rooms, and here I am finishing up my workout. What's up guys? And came across this Toshiba. There's an LCD from the 2006-2007. Let me just finish up here. It has this touch of gray bottom to it. Reminds me very much of the touch of red from Samsung. What's interesting again is back in the day, guys, it was always about lighting up the name as prominently as possible on all of these displays. This is definitely an LCD. Very thick. But Toshiba, which was very prominent back in the day, has all but gone missing from displays. Maybe some monitors, things of that nature. But the styling back then was really all about the prominent name, the large bezel at the bottom, and something which was probably very stylish back then, which I'm sure now we perceive as being pretty gaudy. Sorry for the heavy breathing. But, you know, I can't escape these TVs. Between the gyms and the different hotels I'm in, a lot of the old displays are still there, and I think it's interesting to check them out. But I wanted to show you guys is actually the settings back then and how bare bones they actually were in terms of picture settings. So here we are in standard. Let's see what picture settings they actually offer. Standard, movie, PC, oh, nice preference. So right there you're already limited. There's not really even a custom. They all can be customized. Let's go back. Picture settings. Offers one noise reduction. But you can see it was actually, these probably could be used as PC monitors back as far as being displays in offices or hotels. Picture settings. You have your backlight, contrast, Dynalight, which was probably their name for, you know, I have no idea back then, Dynalight, brightness, color, tint, sharpness, and that was big, you know, pretty bare bones for the time. Dynamic contrast, static gamma, color temperature, and that was really all that was offered back in the day. And what's funny is these are reminiscent of our old CRT options. You know, you really can't offer or alter the coolness of the picture. Warm 1, warm 2, the things like that that we're used to. Sharpness back then was your typical sharpness. But it's interesting that if we were to go back and try to use these today, we would lose our mind because the settings didn't do a heck of a lot. Like dynamic contrast, which, you know, is still around today, but oh yeah, there's color temperature right there. But this is the advanced picture settings. There's only 3 of them when we're used to like full pages of them. But I always find it interesting to do some of these videos on these old LCDs, though they are watchable, especially on a treadmill, doing some cardio, or, you know, in a hotel room. It helps us appreciate how far we've come in terms of displays. Not only in terms of picture quality, but in terms of bezel design, you know, the way they look. Now we know that all of our new displays have a whole heck of a new lot in terms of clouding and other defects, but sometimes we forget how far the technology has really come as far as us being able to really access and change all the settings. Back then, you know, dynamic contrast is about as good as you could get to changing it. What is also interesting is how these TVs still function after all these years. Even getting up close to it, I mean, it's not even a feed, a 1080p or anything, but there isn't any dead pixels or anything like that. But I do find it so interesting that down here, you know, that is something back then that I would have been like, yeah, check out that gray. And now you're like, ugh, get that out of here. And back then, loving to have the Toshiba emblem, also realizing that there was no option back then to actually shut it off. So, quick video. Toshiba, which you don't see much anymore, which was leading back then, especially in monitors, is all but gone now. I know Sharp and some of those other ones have been repurposed and repurchased and everything else, but a quick video, as you know, I'll do them anywhere I go. If I come across old displays, old SAYBROOK Hotel, if you were in the area, check it out. Lighthouse, waterfront, really, really beautiful old hotel. Has a Game of Thrones shining vibe, but very, very nice. Tiny little gym, but that's it. Toshiba LCD, guys. You know I'm going to show you displays wherever I go. And as much as I love these old displays, I would hate to ever go back to them. This is probably, if I'm guessing, it's probably 720p. Let me just check really quick on the side to see if there's even an HDMI. Yep, there's HDMI. USB. Alright guys, old school Toshiba, 2006, 2007. Thank you as always. Keep the comments coming, and thank you for all the support and all the positive feedback for the channel. Take care guys. Enjoy the rest of your summer.